Hello and welcome back to Premier League Primetime, episode 11. We're here back again. Davis is always here as your co-host. And of course he is back. The man himself is back. We've all missed him, but he's back. He's back again. Cyrus, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Thanks.
All right, and we have the other two, as always, brilliant and absolutely fantastic as always, Andre and Jose. How are you two doing?
Excellent, Davis. And yourself?
I'm doing pretty good myself. And let's just jump right into this. Starting with Newcastle, they went to Selhurst Park and they got a 2-0 victory. Goals coming from Callum Wilson and Joe Linton very, very late in that second half. Jose, what did you make of that game?
Well, it was a real last gasp win for them, even though they got two goals. They got Callum Wilson and Joelinton in the final 2 minutes scoring. And I think that the headline has to go to Joelinton for this one. He finally scored after, I don't even know how long it's been, probably since, didn't he score in that against Tottenham last season? So I think it's his first time scoring in a long time. So good for him.
Yeah, good for Joe Linton. Yeah, it's been a long while since he scored. He was one of the players that Andre and I did put in our dreadful 11. And yeah, he has more goals than a striker that I love to death and defend left, right, and center. But of course, everyone will just say that he's rubbish and he's overrated. Anyways, getting into the next game. Andre, over to you. A very controversial game. Liverpool went to the South Coast and they played Brighton. Diogo Jota again scoring for Liverpool, and then a penalty by Pascal Gross in the 93rd minute, stepping up to take a penalty after Neil Maupay missed the first penalty given in the game for Brighton. What did you make of that game? And did you think that was a penalty?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of controversial decisions. Just felt like everything was going against Liverpool. I thought the first one was definitely just a really slobby challenge from the youngster. It was just definite pen for me. The second one, obviously, a lot more controversial. Um, I guess I'll just go. I'll go ahead and side with it 'cause I think could go either way. It's just really harsh. I think every team has just been dealt difficulties with VAR. Liverpool just especially hard done in this match, and a match where they probably should have gotten the 3 points.
Yeah, and not only that game. VAR has just been something that's continuously been brought up, and it's hurt a lot. It's hurt a lot of teams across the league when it's come to certain goals, certain results, uh, and yeah, the vast majority of people don't find VAR is a good thing. But for me, I think personally, when it comes to VAR, I think if they find a way to use it more efficiently, like instead of it being operated by a referee, if it was operated by, I don't know, by computer, kind of like goal line technology. Because when goal line technology is in action, nobody questions it because it's operated by a computer. But every referee kind of has a slightly different perception or opinion on what's a foul, what's offsides, what's a red card, or what not. But if it was operated by some sort of computer, I don't think people would be getting on VAR's case as much.
I mean, I think handballs penalties are always going to be suggestive, but I think I think it was in the Bundesliga where they did this thing with offsides. That's just been a huge issue where it's like it's had to take away goals. Like Ollie Watkins in particular, it was tough to take that one from him at the end.
Yeah, that's
So
another one.
is
Yeah, I
that
think it was like an arm offsides, Ollie Watkins.
his arm, which isn't even a part that you can score, but what what they're doing is that in the Prem they use these very thin lines and very thin margin, the thinnest line possible to get the exact measurement. So what they've done in the Bundesliga, I think it was, is that they've increased that by about 10 millimeters. So the lines they're using are thicker, and if the lines are touching, then they're just going to go with the on-field decision. So I think that something like that needs to be implemented into the Premier League. I think if you just there's got to be more margin for error, but because who's thinking like that exact? If you're a player just running at those speeds, you're not thinking about stuff like that.
Yeah. And going back to Ollie Watkins, that was, so that was kind of a heartbreaker, isn't it? I think he was like an arm or a finger offsides, but no matter if it's a fingernail, a hair, um, a toe, regardless, if you're offsides, you're offsides. That's just the rules, as harsh as it is. Cyrus, going over to you for the first time in what's felt like freaking ages since we've last gone anything from you. Manchester City hosted Burnley, and it was a pretty straightforward, expected Manchester City five-star performance. Five-star performance, 5-0, a hat trick from Mahrez, a goal for Ferran Torres, and then your boy Benjamin Mendy getting on the scoreline. What did you make of the game?
Sorry, I was muted for a second. Yeah. Mara's 3 goals. That's impressive from him. I feel like, he's. I don't want to say he struggled. I feel like he hasn't used his full potential that he had. Obviously the most overrated left back in the Premier League scored. That's okay. But yeah, Man City dominated this game. Dominating possession, 69 possession. Burnley only had I think 1 shot on target. So yeah. They're still not a great start of the season. I know they just tied 0-0 today, in fact, in Champions League. So they still have some stuff to work on. But yeah, they're tied on Aston Villa with points, but just the early going. So
Yeah, yeah, you said that spectacularly. What else can I really say other than this is just, this is what, we should be seeing from Manchester City. This is what Man City look like when they're at their brilliant best. 5-star performance, lots of goals. This was just kind of a no-brainer and something that you should expect from Manchester City and nothing less. Andre, over to you. And West Brom continue to uh, to uh, continue to add on to Sheffield United's horrendous start to the season by winning by 1-0. The Chelsea loanee youngster Conor Gallagher getting a goal. I think it was. I'm not sure if it was deflected or not, but off that corner in the 13th minute. What did you make of that game? Bro, you're muted.
My mistake. No, yeah, I was just complimenting Gallagher, but yeah, Sheffield United. It was just another case of like I thought they played brilliantly. They set up so many chances, and it's like they just don't have the personnel to finish them off. It's not. This is just such a unique case where I'd put little to no blame on Chris Wilder. I think it's just really the personality that he's got. He's got to rely on McBurney to put in goals, and it's just yeah, it needs to really they're just an interesting case. One point taken away from all season, but they're playing really well. They go into every match looking like they want to win, but yeah, it didn't happen. West Brom clinical with like maybe lucky, pretty fortunate. But yeah, they took away the 3 points from what probably Sheffield deserved something from the match, but West Brom takes it all.
Yeah, a good win for West Brom, very well needed. But yeah, yet again, it's just a shambles again from Sheffield United. And as well as, and it's going to be interesting to see, especially what they do with Chris Wilder, whether they keep their faith in him or whether the owners think themselves, we can't afford to go down to the championship. Big changes need to happen. Whether they keep faith in Chris Wilder or sack him. I think all of us can say that. I think at the beginning of the season, I don't think any of us had Chris Wilder on our sacking list. I think most of us were saying Dean Smith, David Moyes, Slav Bilic, any one of those. But the first two have shocked us this season and managed that we thought wouldn't be getting the sack are at risk. Very much needed win from West Brom. That was a very, very, very important win for them. Anyways, going to the next game, Cyrus, over to you. Leeds United grabbed a 1-0 victory at Everton, courtesy of the Brazilian coming from Stade Rennes, Rafinha, the Brazilian winger, scoring in the 79th minute. which was a quite frankly a brilliant left-footed strike into that bottom right-hand corner. Jordan Pickford with absolutely no chance. What did you make of that game?
Oh yeah, we knew it was going to be a good game. We knew it was going to be a close game. Both sides have been, had a pretty positive start to this game. So yeah, it was a close game. I just want to talk about Calvin Phillips for Leeds, man of the match that game. He was great. 100% aerial duels won, tackles won. He only misplaced like 5 passes, I believe. So I just wanted to focus on him for a second because I feel like some of these underrated players don't get focused on too much. So yeah.
Yeah, you make a very good point, especially in the championship. Like Bamford, or like Patrick Bamford, and Calvin Phillips, we lost Cyrus there, but he's been having some Wi-Fi difficulties. But yeah, he's absolutely right. Calvin Phillips is another one. As I was saying, like Patrick Bamford, he has been nothing short of phenomenal so far. He was phenomenal last season in the championship, and he's been doing very, very well this season. And he's gotten called up to England. He's gotten called to the England squad. Even last season when they were still in the championship, he was getting called to the senior squad. And I mean that's extremely impressive for a youngster like Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, I think
at his age.
no, he seems to be getting recognition from obviously from Southgate and other managers. He's been linked to some big clubs, been complimented by certain managers. But yeah, it's just among fans, we seem to be not recognizing how brilliant he's been. He's just one of the best number 6s in the league right now, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Jose, any thoughts on Calvin Phillips?
I mean, he's someone I've been looking at since last season. I think he's been really, really good this season, and he's proven his worth definitely in the Premier League.
Yeah, very simple and very straightforward. Going into the next game, and Jose, what can I say other than El Matador? Manchester United getting a narrow 3-2 victory at Southampton. Goals in the first half courtesy of Jan Bednarek of another brilliant defensive tactical masterclass of zonal marking, because we all know zonal marking just 100% works in the modern game. And then who scores a brilliant free kick? Who else but James Ward-Prowse? David De Gea getting injured in the process of trying to keep it out. I already heard some people blaming De Gea, but De Gea shouldn't get any blame for that, considering the fact that we're talking about arguably one of the best free kick takers in Europe at this point in terms of his ratios. I don't think anyone can argue. He's certainly the best free kick taker in the Premier League, 100% in my opinion. I mean, everything he hits turns to gold. But I mean, that second half from Manchester United was spectacular for me. Bruno Fernandes, of course, scoring in the 60th minute. And no, it wasn't a penalty. So the Penandes, the Penandes gang can sit down. And then Edison Cavani, of course, coming off the bench at halftime, scoring 2 top class headers in the 74th minute and then the 92nd minute. Jose, what did you make of that game?
I mean, the big thing for me is just that Cavani has added a whole new, basically, dimension to how we can play. It's because with Martial, like, he's good with his head, but he doesn't get on headers that much. But Cavani, like, he makes really good runs into places where he can get headers, and he puts them away really, really, really well. So I think it's just added a whole other way of playing, a whole other way of scoring goals for us, and I think it's really good for us. I also think we were a bit unlucky to concede the 2 goals we conceded. I think that we should have we actually played well enough to win this game by more than 1 goal, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, props to Cavani for he came in clutch definitely at the end. And Bruno, again, I don't think I've seen a game where Bruno hasn't scored for us in a long time. So I'm very happy right now as a Manchester United fan.
Yeah, I think everybody's over the moon. I mean, I've watched that Cavani winning header. I think now it's like about 4 or 5 times now at this point. But one thing I do want to say, stand out and shout out to my boy, my guy, Fredinho, the new Casemiro. Yeah, honestly, my guy was on I don't know what my guy was on, but bro, he was immense. Fred was unbelievable. I mean, that performance reminded me of the Paul Pogba performance at Manchester City. In Jose Mourinho's second season when we were 2-0 down and he came and Paul Pogba came and grabbed the game at the scruff of the neck. But Fred was just, I don't know. I mean, that guy. Fredinho. My guy deserves all the praise and all the credit because he was just phenomenal, as well as Donny Van de Beek. Both of them were just brilliant. And last question on the game. Do you think now seeing what Cavani has done and can do, do you think Anthony Martial could be fearing the worst or should be fearing the worst?
I mean, yeah, I think he definitely should be fearing for a starting spot right now because Cavani is having a really good time. But I think also, yes, he has to think that Martial is still 24. Cavani's like, what, 33? So, I mean, Martial can't see too much of a threat to his, at least long term, to his position at striker. But I think it's if anything, it's just impetus for Martial to start providing goals again. So I think it can only be positive for us.
And I think you also just look at what Man United need, like just game by game, because they're two brilliant players and they offer different things. I think look at Martial and you give him the ball at his feet and he just improvises like create like just really well, really like just unorthodox. And you get Cavani where when those balls were in the air, I mean, I'm not even sure any of them were constant. It was just that improvisation in the air to get his head on the ball, get in the back of the net, experience really. I just wonder if the relationship can build and if what Martial can maybe learn from Cavani and how he just somehow manages to make it work, because that just seems what Martial just seems to lack, is just that ability from a striker to just somehow make things work, which is what the best strikers in this league do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And everyone knows Anthony Martial is my guy. I love him. I defend this guy left, front, and center because he just gets so much stick, so much undue stick. And as Ricky from the Anderson always say, Anthony Martial is a fantastic player. He is absolutely fantastic. And I have to agree with my guy Ricky. I really do. Yeah, shout out Ricky from the United States. But yeah, Martial's a fantastic player, and yeah, he gets so much undue stick, and hopefully, he can come back, and we can see the Anthony Martial that we saw last season, scoring lots of goals, and a striker that that leads by example, and a striker that Harry Kane was looking up to last year. Anyways, going into that next game, into the most
this season, but whatever.
going on to the next game, to the probably the most entertaining game of the weekend. I was just live and up and just filled with joy watching this game. Brilliantly, spectacularly entertaining 0-0 draw between Chelsea and Tottenham. It was a Mourinho park the bus masterclass. And yeah, that's simple. Andre, what did you make of the game? And what do you think Robertson would be saying right now?
Probably be crapping on how we approach the game tactically. I think he'd probably be making excuses on why his full strength Chelsea couldn't make Tottenham look like children, which is what he said they do. I said it'd be a draw, but I did end up giving the benefit of the doubt to Tottenham, which was fair because we had that chance at the end with Lo Celso. But no, it was a weird game. I think it was definitely. I think it's funny. I think every time, because I think the Chelsea United game was not entertaining. The United Arsenal game was obviously not entertaining, and now Chelsea Tottenham has been really not entertaining. So it's just like all these sides just seem to fear making mistakes against each other, and not one team out of these has gone about and been on the front foot, with the exception of Man City against us, at least trying to. So it's a weird one. It's like it threatens the excitement that we get to these games, because all these teams are going to sit back and try the same stuff. I mean, it's just lack of excitement all around. It's like these games have definitely lost something. I'm just waiting for the next tactical revolution to happen, so these games can get exciting again, because they're the biggest teams, yet everyone just sit backs, counterattacks, like you always say, David. It's a little disappointing. But 0-0, yeah, there's another one of these lack of goals.
Yep, Andre, and for all the time you're saying Trophy Mourinho, coming from Chelsea fans and coming from United fans, tall Tottenham fans, get ready to sit back, relax, and enjoy these wonderful, boring performances and this boring ass style of football.
I mean,
All due respect to Jose, his style is boring as hell.
the only guy not doing it is Pep, I think, and I guess Klopp. But I think every team is sitting back. I don't know, on some level. Everyone seems to be trying to get numbers behind the ball. Obviously, in possession is where I think it changes. But yeah, it's just disappointing. Everyone in the league, I think, does it now.
Yeah, 100%. Anyways, going to the next game, and it's unfortunate that Cyrus is having some Wi-Fi issues. Arsenal. What can I say about Arsenal, other than I'm sorry, but at the moment they are shit. They are dreadful. They are abysmal. What more can I say? Losing 2-1 to Wolves. But what I will say is, from Premier League Prime Time, best wishes to Raul Jimenez, because that collision looked disgusting. That was a nasty collision with David Luiz. And best wishes to David Luiz too, because I know he just wasn't. I don't know why on earth he was on the pitch. Mikel Arteta Arteta was forgetting the Artekers, so it wasn't an Artekers masterclass. But yeah, goals. Pedro Neto opened the scoring, and then Gabriel with an assist from Willian. I know, from Willian. I know, of all people. Yeah, I know it actually came from Willian. I know, people may be surprised. I know it sounds surprising, but the corner he actually didn't just hit the first man. It actually was a decent cross into the box. He actually had a decent game. And then Daniel Podence scoring again for Wolves right before the end of the first half. What do you make of the game?
Well, I mean, for me, I just enjoyed it. I mean, it's a shame for me I wasn't here last week to predict a loss for Arsenal, because I think you all know that I would have. But I just enjoyed watching Arsenal basically get dominated from the beginning of the match to the end of the match. So great goals from Pedro Neto and Podence. Willian finally gets his assist, which is good. But Arsenal, the struggles continue. I mean, it's their first goal from open play in 9 games in the league. It's something to worry about for them, definitely.
Yeah, 100%. And we're not Arsenal fan TV. But I can just point out a couple of players who were absolutely dreadful. Hector Bellerin. I don't know what's happened to him. Since that first season. I mean, the last season I really saw him play decent was that first season under Unai Emery. But after that, I mean, he has been rubbish. He's been absolutely horrendous. Kieran Tierney, I don't know, maybe the system is benefiting him or whatnot, but but since the Aston Villa game, he hasn't looked the same. He hasn't been the same Kieran Tierney I've seen. Granit Xhaka and Dani Ceballos. Dani Ceballos was the one I saw before lockdown. And Granit Xhaka, I mean, that performance just kind of justifies why he has been on the bench when Thomas Partey was fit and available.
I mean, I think it's easier. I think it's easier to point out the players that played well rather than the players that played badly, which for me is Brent Leno, Gabriel. Every other player on that team just doesn't look invested. Every other player looks like a passenger. Obviously, Willian finally showed up again and got the assist, but every single player there.
I'll throw Saka in there though. I think I rate Saka. I rate Saka 100%, and I think no matter what fan you are, I think you'd be absolutely deluded to say you weren't. I mean that kid is phenomenal. He's such a good player. But these past 3 games, Leeds, Villa, and Wolves. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's an exceptional player, but his youth is really starting to show.
He's been missing a lot of chances. A lot of
Yeah.
good chances in these games.
I mean, when we would talk about Saka, we'd always talk about, always having that end product, and that's something that, the Arsenal fans, including Cyrus, would always criticize Alex Iwobi for, and even Eddie Nketiah at times. But yeah, I mean, these past 3 games, I mean, I don't know what's happened to Saka's end product. I mean, it's non-existent. And I guess troops leaving AFTV really has hurt Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I mean, maybe he's still crying. And Lacazette.
I mean, I think.
What?
Oh no, I was gonna comment on Arsenal, but you could keep talking.
No. So I finished what I was gonna say.
Okay. No, I think Arsenal, they're just, I mean, I think the fans don't exactly know what they want either, because obviously things have been weird under Arteta. They've gone and played, they've tried Aubameyang through the middle, didn't work out. But I guess what I do hope, just so we can have a proper rivalry again, is that they realize that Wolves were just outdid them with physicality. They seemed to respond to that Jimenez challenge. All the players stepped up, they went for it, so really, I think Arsenal had such a low point where it's like, I don't know if they can sink any lower against Tottenham. Like, I think this is hopefully they realize, okay, we're really coasting by, that we need to wake up. They need to get aggressive versus us. They need to get dirty versus us and really just connect well. I think that if they don't respond after that loss and don't put in a shift against Tottenham, then I don't know. I don't know what's next for Arsenal. It's going to be really poor. I mean, the fact is, managers are judged on their performances in the league. You can win the FA Cup, but managers at the end of the day are judged on their performances in the league. If they're not performing in the league, then you're done. So really, I do fear for Arsenal fans.
I mean, they sacked Unai Emery and Arsenal were in 8th. Right now, Arteta's in 14th.
Yeah, they had that stat where if you look at their I think Unai Emery's last 30 games, last 30 games, not first 30 games, and Arteta's like first 30 games, they're not. I mean, I think Unai Emery actually outdid him. I think Unai lost 9 times and Arteta lost, I think, over 11 times, 11, 12, something like that. So it's like even just there, that's a huge whatever. This change that we thought would happen hasn't happened. I don't know if it's a personnel thing. To me, it seems like an attitude thing, but I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, that's enough said about Arsenal. Going into the next game, and Andre, I'm actually going to go to you for this one because I know you must be very, very sad about this one. Fulham went to the King Power Stadium and went away with a 2-1 victory. Goals courtesy of Animal Lookman and Ivan Cavallero.
Yeah.
Can't say Portuguese names, for crud's sake. From a penalty, I know. From a penalty. And then Harvey Barnes scoring late for Leicester in the second half. 2 questions. What did you make of the game, Andre? And how sad do you feel for Brandon Rodgers?
Oh God, not sad at all. I said it in the thing. I really went to town on him. I'm so glad that he got what he deserved, because that what he was doing was not working. So I'm still salty about Liverpool match, but whatever. Brighton did the job for me, which is why I do like Brighton. But no, I think Leicester, they're just, I think they just need to find a rhythm again. I think Harvey Barnes has been really brilliant. I think he was good again once in that game. Obviously he scored, but yeah, Fulham finally got the best of them, which I was extremely happy about.
Yeah.
And they're out of the bottom 3, I think, Fulham now.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
They are.
surprising.
Good for Fulham.
Yeah.
And the last game, over to Jose, and West Ham won by 2-1. Anglo Ogbonna and Jared Bowen scoring for West Ham, and of course for Aston Villa, you could probably guess it, Jack Grealish. And I know Robbo is probably very happy about that. Jose, what did you make of the game?
Yeah, it's very much a smash and grab for West Ham in this one. I mean, 66% possession for Aston Villa. They dominated the game, had more shots on target, more shots, more passes. And Jack Grealish did get on the board for them, as he usually does. But Ogbonna and Jared Bowen just stole the win for West Ham.
Again, this and another game where VAR just came and ultimately screwed Villa over in the end.
Yeah.
It did. It 100% did. Ollie Watkins thought he had scored, and then I ended up. Honestly, Ollie Watkins is such a frustrating player in terms of fantasy because I keep switching him out with Bamford, but I mean, but it's annoying because the game I get Bamford, Ollie Watkins just has an amazing game, but then when I get Ollie Watkins, Bamford hasn't made the game, so I'm like, for God's sake, just honestly, just please do well, score goals when I have you. Like, come on, seriously.
Yeah, I had Callum Wilson on the bench this week, and he scored 12 points. That was a bummer.
Even though
But
you're still in first by like a mile.
I did really good in November. I averaged 60 points a match. I was a match day. I had a really good month. But
Cyrus is now at the bottom though, but he's kind of screwed because he has Jimenez and Mopai up front.
all his players are like injured or suspended or something.
He's gonna lose. And I was
Yeah.
say, bro, I know I'm a landslide behind you, but bro, I'm coming for you, bro.
17 points behind me. You're not too far.
Not too far, but bro, I'm coming for you, bro. I'm telling you, Dave is gonna make a comeback.
No,
Anyway,
all my defenders are getting injured, so you might be doing so.
and then I'll come for Andre, and then like Tottenham does normally.
No.
He'll bottle it, and then Dave will come in, and then we'll win the league. Anyways,
I might help you out just to get Cyrus to wear a Tottenham jersey. I might just help you out. Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Yeah. Let's move on. Going into the course as usual, the second and last part of our show is, of course, our predictions for match day 11, and we are going to start with Aston Villa hosts Newcastle. I think this game will end in a draw for me. I think Aston Villa are just they've been really inconsistent, and now they're missing such a very, very key part of their team in Ross Barkley, and that's a big miss for them. As well as I thought Horahan was okay. I thought he put in some decent set pieces and some decent free kicks against West Ham, but yeah, the quality just I mean you can tell the quality is beyond or the quality between Barkley and Horahan is just it's landslide almost. Yeah, I think this game will end in a draw. What are you two thinking?
I'm thinking a draw as well. I think probably a goal from Jack Grealish is probably due in this game, and then maybe I'm sure Newcastle will find a way to get through as well. So I'm thinking probably like a 1-1 for this game.
Yeah, I think if I'm Aston Villa, I've lost some hope, especially if I'm Jack Grealish. That was probably his best game of the season, I think, so far. He was absolutely amazing. You watch those highlights; he's involved in everything.
Better than the Liverpool game?
Maybe not that. Maybe with the exception of the Liverpool match, but yeah, Jack Grealish was really immense. I thought John McGinn was a bit poor. He looks a little sluggish.
He looks a bit tired.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he doesn't look like he's running as he used to be. I don't know.
Yeah, it shows that Villa are kind of experiencing the problem that Manchester United did last season, and the problem that Everton are this season. They have a great starting 11, but they need quality off the bench. They need depth. They need some depth players. I mean, that's why they brought in the likes of Traore from Lyon to give them some depth on the wing.
Yeah.
Anyways, going to that next game, Burnley host Everton, and I think it will be straightforward, back to normal. Yes, they are missing some players, but I do believe that Dominic Calvert-Lewin yet again will carry them forward as he's been doing for Everton now more or less all season. Yeah, I think it's going to be very simple. Some of the I mean, Burnley at the moment are just a shambles, I have to say, and they're super pragmatic in the way they play. I mean, with all due respect to Ashley Barnes and Chris Wood, It's like having two Marwan Fellaini's or two Fernando Llorentes, just sticking them up front. Two lampposts, just sticking them up front, and just sending long balls to them, hoping they can do something. And um, um, and knowing Mourinho, that's probably what he'll do with Harry Kane in season 3. Now, but a sec. As I'm saying, it will be a straightforward Everton win. Over to you guys.
Yeah, definitely straightforward Everton win. I think probably by 2 or 3 goals at least. Yeah, I think this should be pretty easy for them.
All right.
Agreed. I think Ancelotti will know how to handle it. So Everton win.
All right. And for the sake of efficiency, I think Manchester City versus Fulham. Man City win.
Yeah, probably. I think it's a shame for me that Man City have this game right now because I think they can just use it to gain more and more momentum.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, definitely confident for a Man City win.
Yeah, agreed.
All right. The next game is not so straightforward. West Ham hosts Manchester United, and that's going to be an interesting game for me. I know for Southampton, I said I predicted a draw. I think it was either a draw or a narrow United win. I think it's going to be the same kind of performance. I think it's either going to be a draw, and United are going to definitely struggle with people like Antonio and Fornals and Jared Bowen. But for me, it just depends. It depends on the personnel Ole Gunnar Solskjaer uses. If he uses the personnel that that he has been using as of recent, whether it's that game against Istanbul or Leipzig or something like that, I think Manchester United could come away with a win, no doubt. But it really all depends on the personnel used by Solskjaer. But for me, I'll probably go with I'm either thinking a draw or a narrow United victory. I'm not really sure, but either one is probably plausible. Over to you guys.
Yeah, I was definitely going to say I think it's going to be a similar game to the Southampton one. It's going to be a very tight game. I think we'll probably concede, but I predicted a draw for the Southampton game, so I'm gonna do the same here. I'm gonna predict a draw for this one. We also have a pretty poor record against West Ham recently. We only have like 1 win in our last 5, I think, against them. So.
Yeah, I think that's what I was going to mention, that that poor record thing. I think I've been watching West Ham closely, and I think somehow they've just got that extra bit of fortune like in every match they play, and I think that'll end up somehow the rhythms of the gods of football will end up choosing West Ham for this match, and what will be even. I'm gonna go West Ham narrow win for this match. Unfortunately.
Right.
Fair enough, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. These are two decent sides at the moment. So yeah, West Ham win could be very plausible.
Yeah.
The next game, Chelsea versus Leeds United. And a surprise that some people may seem, I think Chelsea are just going to win this, just no problems whatsoever. I think the quality that they have, Chelsea, it's and Robert will probably be very happy with me saying this. Cheers, Robert, by the way. But yeah, I think just again with the quality that Chelsea have and Frank Lampard, we've seen him set up in different systems. Whether he sees Leeds United's inability to defend off of a counter, and he goes with a 3 or 5, whatever you want to call it. I think Chelsea will come away with a winner. I think it will be straightforward. I don't think Chelsea's defense is going to be able to, I don't think Leeds' defense is going to be able to cope with, the front three of Tammy Abraham, Timo Werner, Hakim Ziyech, whether he throws Christian Pulisic, whether he throws in Callum Hudson-Odoi. And yeah, there's so many ways it could go, so many, different, attacking layouts it could go. Kai Havertz, but yeah, I think it's going to be a straightforward win for Chelsea, as well as Leeds have done. I think it'll be simple, straightforward win for Chelsea. What are you two thinking?
I think it'll be tighter than that, but I think it'll be a Chelsea win as well. I think the Chelsea's attack is just going to be too much for Leeds to deal with.
Yeah, I think I give it to Chelsea just because of their quality. I think they'll they won't exactly be too happy with the draw against us, considering they were home. I think they'll want to win at Stamford Bridge. I think they'll get this.
Yeah. Oh, hey, hey,
Cyrus back.
you know it.
There we go.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Welcome
Gotta love
back.
the background. Hey, he's back.
My bad, guys. Sorry about that.
No worries. A quick before we go on the predictions. I was not gonna let you get away with this. Just to quickly go back, what did you make of that? Quite frankly, that horrendous, shambolic, and quite embarrassing Arsenal performance against Wolves.
Yeah, that just sums it up, to be honest. I was excited when Gabriel scored that goal. I felt like him and Willian, the two players who combined for that goal, were honestly our only half decent players that game. I feel like, I don't know, we just kind of like right after we scored 1-1, we had the momentum and we just like all let it go, to be honest with you. It's disappointing. I feel like Aubameyang, I feel like there's two sides to it. I feel like since he signed the contract, he hasn't been passionate enough in playing, but I feel like he also needs help. There's no creativity. I feel like Xhaka was very poor. Bellerin's been, a defensive liability for, quite some time now. I feel like there's only a couple of players in this team that play with, I don't know, a real passion. I feel like Arteta has to fix something now. I hope we get Martinelli back. I've been saying that. But yeah, it's just not working out right now for us. We started to start Willock, see if we could get any creativity, but it's still not going for us. So
I wanted to
hopefully we
ask
can
you,
beat.
as a fan of an outside club, I feel like I wouldn't know exactly where the problems are at Arsenal if I was an Arsenal fan. So I wanted to ask you, where do you think the problems are? Do you think it's everywhere, or do you think it's like a particular place?
I think it's I wouldn't say it's like any set position. I feel like definitely maybe you could say the midfield's lacking creativity. Obviously Ozil, I don't think that was Arteta's decision, to be honest. I feel like it was some other decision with the whole
Uh,
board, but I don't know. I mean, you guys can have your opinion on that. I'm not sure. I think that was maybe a political decision. I don't know, but yeah, with the defense, I feel like we have solid people. We have Gabriel, who's been saving us. He's a stone wall, but I feel like Bellerin's been kind of a defensive liability for these games now, and we've seen him get exposed time and time again. And maybe we should play Maitland Niles there, give him a chance.
Cedric. I mean, I don't know what's happening
Cedric,
with
yeah,
Cedric.
we have decent options. I mean, we should try it, but yeah, I think also our strikers aren't really performing, but I think that's down to them and the creativity. So
Yeah, and as we were just saying before, it's the last thing about the Arsenal game. And for me, when I think of when it comes to managers establishing the Premier League squads, for me, I assume that's down to the manager. He's assuming. The thing with William Saliba, I didn't get that whatsoever. Um, um, Regardless of the issues that he had, to not put him in the squad, not give him a chance. I didn't really get that whatsoever. But yeah, yeah. As we said, you have literally a guy who's known for being, a very, very creative outlet, sitting there making £350,000 a week, just to sit there and play Fortnite and buy Fortnite skins. Honestly. Anyways, yeah. That's enough said about the Arsenal game. But going back to where we were at, and Cyrus, I'll start with you. West Brom hosts Crystal Palace, and I actually think this game's going to be 0-0. Depending if Wilfred Zaha comes back, I think if he does come back, the Crystal Palace will win this game. But I just think Crystal Palace have been slacking a bit. They really have been slacking a bit, and they don't look like the same side without Wilfred Zaha. And West Brom, as surprising as it is, they've gained some sort of confidence after that win, and maybe they'll carry that momentum through. I think it's going to end up being a draw. Cyrus, what are you thinking?
yeah, I'm gonna have to honestly agree with you. With Crystal Palace, it's always whether Zaha can perform if he's there or not. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to say 0-0 if Zaha's not there.
And what about the other two?
Yeah, I think it'll be close. I think 0-0 is fair. I would just say a draw because I think West Brom want to build on their momentum that they gained from the last weekend, and I think that'll push them. but Crystal Palace may also get some goals through like the likes of Zaha. Yeah, I go with a draw, probably like a 1-1.
And Andre, what about you?
I'm gonna go for that Eberechi as a masterclass, but I scored 5 free kicks. No, I do think Palace will win it, but I think they'll have a good game. Their attacking players will are probably better than West Brom. So I think they'll probably cause West Brom defenders make some mistakes. So I'm gonna go Palace for the win.
All right. Going to the next game, Sheffield United hosts Leicester City. And as badly as Andre wants to see Brendan Rodgers lose, honestly, I don't think it will happen. I as shocking as that was against Fulham, hopefully Brendan Rodgers will and excuse my language, that'll get his shit together and he'll stop playing that stupid and I'm not joking. Yeah, it is. I don't know why he does it. He's gonna stop playing that stupid back three when he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to play that a back three, but he chooses to do so. And he'll start. He'll go back to playing four at the back. I think Leicester will get their shit together and it'll be straightforward and they'll get the win. Cyrus, what are you saying?
Yeah, after you said they're playing Sheffield, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sheffield has, at 1 point, I believe, last in Premier League. So I think Leicester will definitely get this win. So, yeah.
Jose, what about you?
Yeah, I'd say probably a Leicester win. I mean, both of these sides are in absolutely horrendous form. So really, it's whoever gets it together before the day and can perform. I think both teams have a really good chance of winning this game because both teams are in such bad form. But I'd probably go with a Leicester win, just considering the last 2 games have been easy wins for Leicester. So
And Andre, what about you?
Yeah, I'm done with my Brendan Rodgers hate. He got what he deserved. Fulham did enough. Okay, I'm happy. So it's okay. No, I
Like
think
what you said last week was spot on. What was the code that you used?
I don't know. It was a heartbroken little girl. I needed him to suffer. He was a bastard. I don't like him at all. No, no, I think they should get back on form. I think Sheffield they don't have the personnel. I'll keep saying it over and over again. I think Leicester will get the win.
All right. Seems that Andre has found his love in Brandon Rogers again. Anyways, going into the most exciting game of the weekend, and quite possibly the most one-sided game of the weekend. Expressions versus Troops, AFT versus Expressions, Cyrus versus Andre, the North London Derby, which you will see a preview tomorrow. Tottenham hosting Arsenal, and I just think I'm sorry, Cyrus, buddy, but Tottenham's just gonna. I think Tottenham's just gonna steamroll them to shit. Honestly, I just think in the form Arsenal are in, and it's not me taking the piss at Arsenal. I mean, sure. I mean, that's just a great pass on the have, but I mean, I think you'd say it yourself. I think Tottenham will steamroll Arsenal to shit. If this is the Arsenal if this Arsenal turns up, and the players aren't pumped up and aren't motivated, yeah, it's gonna be a I honestly fear for Arsenal. Seriously, you agree?
Yeah, we're gonna lose.
Jose, over to you.
yeah, I love the North London Derby because you really never know where it's gonna go, even with Arsenal in such bad form right now.
I don't. It's you. I mean, you don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, you never do. That's why I love this fixture so much. But for this one, I'm gonna have to go with the Tottenham win. I don't see Arsenal winning this game. As much as I think they might turn it around under Arteta right now, I think Spurs are gonna win this one.
All right, Andre, over to you. Is it gonna be a Trophy Mourinho masterclass?
Yes, it is. It is. I think we'll edge out. I think we'll win. I was thinking that we'll just batter them. I mean, if I were an Arsenal fan, I'd literally have no confidence right now, as you saw Cyrus have. But maybe they can bounce back. Maybe they'll have some personnel that just stop being passengers. Maybe their attacking players will realize that they've got to just perform for the fans, just for this
Yeah.
one. I don't know. So hopefully they can, not hopefully, but from the neutral perspective, hopefully they can have a bounce back. But if they don't, it still seems like we're gonna win. I think Kane Son will be too much, but yeah, it's just it seems like we'll get the win. But I am hoping for a little bit of competition, I think.
Yeah. And anyways, as I just said earlier, we will be back again tomorrow with Andre and with Cyrus, and we will be talking the North London Derby tomorrow. Anyways, going into that next game, Liverpool hosts Wolves, and this may sound like a surprise, but I think this is going to be a very close game. But I just think with the lack of personnel Wolves have, I think Liverpool is going to win this one. I mean, both sides are have injury problems. I mean, Wolves played with a back four. Wolves played with a back four. It was kind of weird to see, but Wolves played with a back four against Arsenal. But yeah, I think it's just going to be straightforward. I think Liverpool will win, but it's definitely not going to be an easy game. It definitely won't be. Regardless of if Raul Jimenez comes, I doubt he'll be fit for that game, but yeah, it's not going to be an easy win. But I think Liverpool are going to get the job done. Cyrus, what do you say?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys talked about this like when I was gone, but Jimenez, I don't think that's looking good. I don't think it's going to be one game. I think it's going to be a couple. I don't know. We'll see. It doesn't look good though.
I don't.
But,
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look great.
No, it doesn't look good. He's definitely not coming back for this game. But I think maybe Diego Jota might have something to say. It's his old club. I'm gonna go 1-0 Liverpool. I know it's gonna be close. Maybe I'll get back another goal. He's been good.
Yeah, and I hope Jota keeps scoring because I just got him on fantasy. I swear he better keep scoring. I swear it better not be like an Ollie Watkins, Patrick Bamford thing where every time I get one, the other scores, and I'm just like, nope, got to switch them, and nope, what happens? Nope, the other one just starts banging goals. Crud's sake. Anyways, Jose, over to you.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably a Liverpool win. I think there'll be a Jota goal definitely in this game. Yeah, I think I'd probably go with a Liverpool win by 2 goals.
All right, and Andre.
Yeah, I think Klopp knows you just got to shut out a select few players, and I think then they'll be able to control the game. So I think Liverpool win.
And looking at that Alisson injury, and looking at that impressive performance by young Keller today, would you start Keller over the magnificent and brilliant Adrian?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
And anyways, the last game, Brighton hosts Southampton, and I think Southampton's gonna be no brainer. I think Southampton's gonna win this game comfortably. I mean, we've seen the problems that they can cause. They caused Man United a shitload of problems. This past game, I just think it'll be straightforward. Regardless, even though Danny Ings is out, I think it will just be simple, straightforward, and I think Southampton will break down that back five of Graham Potter's. Cyrus, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'd have to agree. They're good against you guys, which is not really saying much looking at your defense. But then again, I can't talk. So, yeah, I think Southampton's going to win.
Jose, over to you.
Yeah, this should be easy Southampton win. I think they'll be annoyed they didn't get anything out of the game last weekend. So yeah, easy Southampton win.
And Andre, lastly to you.
Yeah, don't let the titles of these teams fool you. This is going to be I think it'll be a really good game. Both really possession-oriented, midfield-dominating sides. I'm gonna definitely go either way for me. I think they're really even. Southampton's just gotten the better of results. I'm gonna go draw. I don't think it'll be that easy for Southampton, but I could be wrong. I don't think they'll coast by.
All right. Well, you heard it from all of us. We come to the end of our show. What I will say is, if you want to follow us on Instagram, want to see us on Spotify, look at the description below. And if you're more than delighted with Cyrus being back again, like hopefully his boy Troops will be with AFTV, also smash like on this video. And wherever you are watching this in the world, have a great day / evening.